All right, you miserable bastards. Welcome back to another deep dive. Let's cut the crap. High school, right? It was either the best time of your life, or, let's face it, you were just praying for a meteor to wipe the whole damn place off the map.
Well, I mean, I think for most of us, it was a bit of both, wasn't it? The hormones, the angst, just the sheer awkwardness of it all.
And who could forget the soul-crushing boredom of those classes, right? But anyway, today we're diving headfirst into the abyss of high school. Specifically, we're dissecting Irvine High out there in sunny California.
Irvine High, what the hell is so special about that place? Just another factory churning out TikTok influencers and avocado toast enthusiasts.
Hold your horses there, Professor.
Yeah.
We're going way beyond that superficial bullshit. We're digging deep into some surprising shit about this school.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
We're talking seriously bizarre architecture, some seriously badass academic achievements, and an alumni list that will make you shit your pants.
All right. You've got my attention. Lay it on me.
First off, the architecture. Imagine a high school built entirely out of concrete hexagons.
Concrete hexagons? You're kidding, right?
Dead serious. It's got these brutalist vibes like some kind of dystopian sci-fi movie set.
Seriously, what architect dreams up that kind of shit?
Some dude named Ron D. Young, apparently.
Well, he definitely didn't go for the traditional brick box look.
Nah, he wanted to break away from all that, create something aesthetically unique and functional.
Sounds like he just gave everyone a headache, if you ask me.
Maybe. But hey, it's definitely memorable, right? You don't forget a school that looks like a giant beehive.
Okay, fair enough. So what about those academic achievements you mentioned? Did they actually have anything going on besides, surf lessons and tanning salons?
Oh, they were cranking out some serious brain power, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah. Give me an example.
Take their Science Olympiad team. They were kicking ass and taking names back in the day.
Okay, how good were they?
First place in Orange County, third in all of California. Not bad for a bunch of beach bums, huh?
All right, I'll give you that. That's somewhat impressive. But come on, Science Olympiad is pretty niche. What about, more mainstream subjects?
Oh, they didn't stop there. We were talking about straight-up chemistry wizards.
What do you mean?
Multiple students qualified for the National Chemistry Olympiad.
Get out of here.
I'm dead serious. In 1986, 1991, and 1992, they had students make it all the way to the national finals. That's the top 20 chemistry students in the entire country.
What the hell were they putting in the water fountains at that school?
And get this, Irvine High was the only school in the whole country to pull that off at the time.
Okay, I see why you picked this school. You're really digging up some interesting shit here.
Well, before we go full-on TMZ and dive into the juicy social scene, we got to talk about Irvine High's real claim to fame, their alumni list.
Oh, here we go. Brace yourselves, folks. It's time for a parade of actors, singers, and Instagram influencers.
You might be surprised. We're talking Olympic athletes, rock stars, and even an opera singer who made it to the finals of America's Got Talent.
Oh, come on. Seriously. Give me some names.
Okay, buckle up, Buttercup. First off, we've got Amanda Beard, the Olympic swimmer.
Amanda Beard, the one with all those gold medals.
The one and only.
No way. She went to Irvine High. I always pictured her, training in some high-tech facility, not dodging spitballs in a concrete hexagon.
Well, apparently she managed to do both. And we're just getting started. We also have Dustin Kensrue.
Wait, who?
Dustin Kensrue, lead singer of Thrice.
Oh, okay, yeah. Deadbolt, great song.
Yep, that's him. And that's not all. We've got actors, comedians, podcasters. Hell, we even got that opera singer I mentioned, Brandon James.
Okay, now that's pretty damn impressive. I was expecting, some washed-up actor from a 90s sitcom.
Yeah, we're just getting warmed up. But before we go any further, let's rewind a bit and talk about the early days of Irvine High. When did this concrete monstrosity first open its doors?
Yeah, good point. It's gotta have some history, right?
Back in 1975, my friend. And get this, Irvine was practically still a cow pasture back then.
So they built this bizarre hexagonal fortress in the middle of nowhere. What were they thinking?
Well, Irvine was booming at the time, and their first high school, University High, was already packed to the rafters. They needed a new school ASAP.
And I guess this hexagon-obsessed architect had some, shall we say, unique ideas.
Yeah. You could say that.
I actually heard something about the first class of freshmen having to share space with a middle school. That sounds kind of messed up.
It gets even better. The actual high school building wasn't ready for another year, so those poor freshmen spent their first year in glorified portables with, construction going on all around them.
Talk about a traumatic start to high
Oh,
school.
they were definitely pioneers, blazing trails and all that.
Mhm.
I can only imagine the stories they could tell.
Okay, I'm starting to get a picture of those early years. Now, what about the building itself, this whole hexagonal layout? Was that just an aesthetic choice, or was there some deeper meaning behind it, like some weird cult symbol or something?
Whoa there, Professor. Hold your conspiracy theories. I haven't uncovered anything about cults or secret societies yet.
Damn. There goes my Illuminati theory.
But what I did find out is they use this technique called tilt-up construction.
Tilt-up construction.
Yeah, basically they cast these massive concrete slabs on site and then tilted them up to form the walls.
Sounds efficient, but not exactly environmentally friendly.
Hey, it was the 70s, what can I say?
Fair enough, fair enough. So we got the building, the weird design, the early years chaos. Where do we go from here?
Next up, we're going to delve deeper into Irvine High's academic achievements. We're talking about those award-winning teams we touched on earlier.
You make it sound like they were running some top secret operation in those concrete hexagons.
Hey, you never know. But seriously, these kids were absolutely killing it in competitions. Everything from science to journalism. Irvine High was more than just a pretty, or rather uniquely designed dot face.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's do this. All right, so let's delve into the brains behind Irvine High. These kids, were they actually academic badasses, or was that just hype?
Oh, it was way more than hype, my friend. We're talking about nationally recognized smarty pants. Remember that killer science Olympiad team we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, the ones who snagged first place in Orange County.
Those are the ones.
Yeah.
But they didn't stop there. In the late 80s, they also came in third in the entire state of California.
Damn, third in the whole state. That's pretty impressive. But Science Olympiad, it's, a pretty specific thing. What about other subjects? Did they crush it across the board?
They didn't stop there. Their chemistry whizzes were qualifying for the National Chemistry Olympiad like it was nothing.
Seriously?
Dead serious. 1986, 1991, and then again in 1992, they had students make it all the way to the national finals.
No way. 3 different students in 6 years. That's insane. I mean, what was in the water at that school? Secret brain juice or something?
Maybe those hexagonal vibes were messing with their brainwaves in a good way. Who knows?
No.
But seriously, Irvine High was the only school in the entire country to pull that off at the time. Like, they had this pipeline of chemistry geniuses just waiting to unleash their knowledge on the world.
Okay, so we've covered science. What about their other academic achievements? Don't tell me they were good at sports, too.
Well, they had their fair share of athletic success. But what really caught my eye was their journalism program.
Their journalism program? What, like the school newspaper?
Exactly, El Vaquero.
Come on, that's not exactly Pulitzer Prize material.
Hold your horses, Professor. This wasn't your average student rag. In 2014, El Vaquero snagged the top prize for best high school newspaper in the entire country.
Seriously. They beat out all those fancy private schools and journalism academies.
They blew the competition out of the water with their reporting, their writing, their overall dedication to journalistic excellence. Like, they were channeling their inner Woodward and Bernstein right there in those concrete hexagons.
Damn, okay, I'm officially impressed. These kids, they were more than just beach bums soaking up the sun. They were a force to be reckoned with in the academic world. It's like they had something to prove.
Exactly. And here's another mind-blowing tidbit. Irvine High was also a founding school in the Irvine CubeSat STEM program.
The what now?
The Irvine CubeSat STEM program. It's this program where students actually get to design, build, and launch their own mini satellites into space.
Wait, hold up. They're launching satellites. This is high school, not NASA.
Yep, these kids are literally reaching for the stars. They're in charge of developing and testing microsatellite propulsion systems. Seriously advanced stuff.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. This high school, it's way cooler than I ever imagined, like the underdog school that secretly holds the keys to the future.
Right, it just goes to show you can't judge a book by its cover. Or in this case, a school by its concrete hexagons.
So we've covered the architecture, the early years chaos, the academic achievements. What's next on our Irvine High deep dive?
Well, we can't talk about high school without diving into the social scene, right? The cliques, the drama, the heartbreaks, the stuff that makes high school both terrifying and exhilarating.
Ah, yes. The real reason anyone remembers high school. The social jungle, where reputations are made and hearts are broken. So let's dish the dirt. What was the social hierarchy like at Irvine High?
Picture this. It's 1985. Big hair, neon colors, and synthesizers blaring on every radio station. You've got your classic high school archetypes, the jocks ruling the football field, the cheerleaders perfecting their pyramids, the band geeks tooting their horns, and the drama kids rehearsing their Shakespearean monologues.
Sounds pretty standard, but every high school has its own, unique flavor. What made Irvine High's social scene stand out? Did those concrete hexagons play a role in the social dynamics too?
You bet they did. Think about it. The school's layout was unconventional. With all those open spaces and weird angles, it created these little nooks and crannies where different groups could hang out and, claim their territory.
So like a giant concrete honeycomb with each cell representing a different clique. That's actually pretty cool. It's like the architecture influenced the social ecosystem.
Exactly. And because the school was relatively new back then, there was this sense of creating traditions and establishing a social order from scratch. It was like the Wild West of high school social scenes.
That sounds like a recipe for some epic drama. Were there any legendary rivalries or scandals that went down?
Oh, I'm sure there were plenty, but those stories are probably best left for the reunion circuit. What we do know is that even beyond those early years, Irvine High continued to cultivate a diverse and dynamic social scene. From its thriving arts programs to its competitive academic teams, there was something for everyone.
It's kind of refreshing to hear about a high school that wasn't just defined by its football team or its popularity contest. It sounds like there was a genuine sense of community and acceptance.
Exactly.
Mm.
Irvine High had this reputation for being a place where you could be yourself and find your tribe, whether you were a future scientist, a budding artist, or just a kid trying to navigate the ups and downs of adolescence.
Well said. And who knows? Maybe some of those future Olympians and rock stars found their inspiration while hanging out in a concrete hexagon at Irvine High.
Maybe so. So there you have it, folks. The inside scoop on Irvine High School. From its unique architecture to its impressive achievements to its dynamic social scene, it's a place that defies expectations.
And who would have thought that a bunch of concrete hexagons could be the backdrop for such a fascinating story? It's a reminder that even the most unconventional places can nurture talent, creativity, and a sense of community.
Right. So the next time you're driving through Irvine, take a moment to appreciate those brutalist beauties. And remember the students who walked those halls, the dreams they chased, and the memories they made within those concrete walls.
And if you ever get the chance to talk to an Irvine High alum, ask them about their experiences. I bet they've got some stories that would make your head spin.
Absolutely. All right, folks, that's a wrap on our deep dive into Irvine High School. We hope you learned something new, laughed a little, and maybe even felt a pang of nostalgia for those awkward but unforgettable high school years. The ones that shaped who we are today.
And hey, if you went to Irvine High, share your stories with us. We'd love to hear about your experiences, good, bad, or just plain weird.
Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring, and never underestimate the power of a good high school story.
All right, let's be real. We've talked about the brainiacs, the weird architecture, but high school time, it's about way more than that.
Yeah, high school is about the shit that stays with you long after you've chucked that graduation cap in the air and said, fuck you, to those hallowed halls.
It's about the social scene, the drama, the moments that make you cringe and laugh at the same time years later.
It's about those awkward encounters, the epic parties, or the lack thereof, the first love, the heartbreaks. It's the stuff that shapes you,
So spill the tea. What was the social hierarchy like at Irvine High? Was it your typical high school food chain? Jocks at the top, band geeks at the bottom?
Picture this. It's 1985. Big hair, neon colors, synthesizers blaring on every radio station. You've got your classic high school archetypes, the jocks ruling the football field, the cheerleaders perfecting their pyramids. You got the band geeks tooting their horns, the drama kids rehearsing their Shakespearean monologues, the whole 9 yards.
Sounds pretty standard, but every high school has its own unique flavor, right? What made Irvine High's social scene stand out? Did those concrete hexagons play a role in the social dynamics too?
You bet they did. Think about it. The school's layout was unconventional. With all those open spaces and weird angles, it created these little nooks and crannies where different groups could hang out and claim their territory.
So it was like a giant concrete honeycomb, each cell representing a different clique.
Exactly. And because the school was relatively new back then, there was this sense of creating traditions and establishing a social order from scratch.
Sounds like a recipe for some epic drama. Were there any, legendary rivalries or scandals that went down? Any tales of forbidden romance or pranks gone wrong?
Oh, I'm sure there were plenty. But those stories are probably best left for the reunion circuit. whispered over lukewarm cocktails and faded yearbooks.
Probably wise. So, what about the overall vibe? Was it a cutthroat, competitive environment or more laid back?
What we do know is that even beyond those early years, Irvine High continued to cultivate a diverse and dynamic social scene. They had thriving arts programs, competitive academic teams. There was something for everyone.
It's kind of refreshing to hear about a high school that wasn't just defined by its football team or its popularity contest. It sounds like there was a genuine sense of community and acceptance.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Irvine High had this reputation for being a place where you could be yourself, find your tribe, whether you were a future scientist, a budding artist, or just a kid trying to figure out who the hell you were.
Maybe some of those future Olympians and rock stars found their inspiration while hanging out in a concrete hexagon at Irvine High, brainstorming their next big idea, or just escaping the social pressures of high school.
Totally. It just goes to show you that amazing things can happen in the most unexpected places. All right, folks, that's a wrap on our deep dive into Irvine High School. From its unique architecture to its impressive achievements and its dynamic social scene, it's a place that defies expectations.
Who would have thought that a bunch of concrete hexagons could be the backdrop for such a fascinating story, right?
It really makes you think, doesn't it? So next time you find yourself cruising through Irvine, take a moment to appreciate those brutalist beauties. Remember the students who walked those halls, the dreams they chased, and the memories they made.
And if you ever get the chance, chat with an Irvine High alum, ask them about their experience. I bet they've got some stories that'll make your head spin.
For sure. Until next time, stay curious, keep exploring, and never underestimate the power of a good high school story. Peace out.